It's stupid. It's exhausting. And everybody thinking that short form content is going to help grow their business online, they're all in a race to see who can get to the bottom the fastest. Look, I've made over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product doing a little over 900K. And I have not made a single piece of short form content in about a year now. And there's a reason for that. Look, the reason why I'm making this video is because the other day someone was in my comments and they said that they feel like they're being forced to make short form content because that's what everybody else is doing, and they felt like they had a little spike in engagement and they got a little more subscribers just because they started to make short form content. And I'm like, you don't have to do that. And that boost in engagement and that little spike in followers that he got, it's a facade and it's fake and you don't want it. And look, it's only gonna take me about 5 minutes to break this down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, I'm telling you, you're going to be doing a lot of work for the wrong reason. And you're gonna just be shooting for vanity metrics instead of looking for actual dollars to grow your business. And if you would rather get views instead of get income, then feel free to just keep on making a bunch of that goofy stuff and go with all the trends out there instead of doing the stuff that's actually going to grow your business online, right? So look, the reason why you don't need to make short form content, or even if you do still want to make short form content, it needs to be on the very back burner of your strategy is this. Look, long form is always going to be the king, regardless. And this is something that I really got blinded by in the past. And I'm telling you, please do not get confused by all of this nonsense that you're seeing on social media and all this nonsense that you're seeing with YouTube shorts and whatnot. That is not the key. The key to build a sustainable, long-term business is long-form content. Think about this. They say that the average attention span of a goldfish is around 9 seconds. And with all this short form stuff and with all this instant gratification and all these dopamine hits that people are getting with social media, they're saying that humans' attention spans nowadays are around 8 seconds. So look, do you really want to build an audience of people that literally have the attention span of a goldfish? Do you really think that these people are going to turn into customers for you? And then people, they say, well, but I've been getting a lot more views, or I've got more subscribers, or I've got more followers because I've been doing all this short stuff. And then guess what I ask them? How's that working out for your business? Have those increasing views gotten you more money? 10 times out of 10, they all tell me no. Then why the fuck are you focused on it? Look, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you don't need to focus on the vanity metrics. And short form content, it's all vanity. Look, you can look this up. A few years ago, I feel like this might have happened around 2019 or 2020 or so. There was a creator, she had 2.6 million followers. She could not sell 36 t-shirts. She got into a deal with someone. She was launching a clothing brand. Whoever it was that was going to be her supplier, she had to sell a bare minimum of 36 shirts in order for them to continue to do business and produce her products for her. She could not sell 36 shirts. I made a video not too long ago, maybe a month or two ago, where a young lady, she had reached 8 million people within a 30-day span and could not sell one single product. It's not a vanity metric. We don't want to get all the views that we can get. We want to get the right views. And in order for you to build a successful business online, you don't have to go viral. Most of them motherfuckers going viral are broke because they don't have any business sense. They don't have any entrepreneurial mindset to them at all. And they think that the game is getting views. But how do you think you're going to make money from those views? Well, guess what they do? They cross their fingers and hope that they get AdSense dollars, or they cross their fingers and they hope that they get brand deals and brand sponsorships from other brands. So their business plan is to get paid to talk about somebody else's business. So you think you can grow your business by crossing your fingers and hoping that somebody wants to pay you to help them grow their business, not for you to grow your business. And then even with that, I'm like, okay, well, if your strategy is to get brand sponsorships, then they understand the value of your audience and you don't. You need to have your own product, but that's a topic for a whole nother day. But look, don't get caught up in the vanity metrics of all this short form content and all these quick dopamine hits and all this instant gratification that people are getting and think that that's the way. You don't need a bunch of views. Look, there's somebody that I know of up in Vancouver, Canada. He had a small YouTube channel of about 5,000 to 6,000 subscribers. He had built a $30,000 per month business off of a small YouTube audience of 5,000 to 6,000 people. And all of his videos at the time were getting like hundreds of views. One may get 1,000 or 2,000 views here. He wasn't getting a lot of views, but he was getting in front of the right people because his product that he was selling, he had a $100 per month product. And he had 300 initial people buy that product. That's a $30,000 per month business. He's now grown it to a over 6-figure per month business, but his YouTube channel is not that big. At the time now, I think he might have like 20,000 subscribers or something like that, but that's still a small YouTube channel. But before that, he was getting $1,000 per day off of a small channel with about 5,000 subscribers. Didn't make one short form piece of content. So look, a lot of people, they think, and they actually believe this crap about the attention span, the goldfish attention span, right? I like to call cat, big cat. You know why? Because our attention spans actually have not gotten shorter. It's just that we want quality. Because one of my buddies, we were sitting down and we were talking about our businesses, and he was like, yeah, man, I just got to get into the short form stuff because people's attention spans aren't there. You know, people have the attention span of a goldfish. I said, man, stop believing that bull crap, because this same guy sat there and he binged the entire series of Peaky Blinders in one day because I recommended it to him and I told him that it's like one of the best shows ever. He watched it in one day. That shows me that he has an attention span. One of my favorite things to do in life, I'm a moviegoer. I love to go to the movies. I get my large popcorn, I get a bottle of water, and I always put too much butter on the popcorn every single time, and I have a stomach ache. I don't know why I love to put myself in this pain, but it's something that I love and I enjoy to do. I go to the movies multiple times per month. I'm starting to get to a point where I got the butter ratio figured out to whereas I won't be sick to my stomach every single time, but I love the pain. But people will still go to the movies now. The movie business is down as a whole, and they have all of these ways to where you can watch the movies, stream the movies and stuff. But it's not that people do not like to go to the movies anymore. It's that the quality of movies have gone down. Look, the box offices show that if you give us a good film, people will show up to support and spend their money with the actual film. It's just all those piece of crap movies, people like, I ain't gonna go watch that. I'm not gonna go watch it. I could just watch it at the house. But the good movies, or the stuff that people really want to see, they go to the movies for that. That shows me that people have a long attention span. Then they don't want that short stuff if you give them quality and if you give them value. We have to do the same in our content as entrepreneurs. Or like I like to say, contentpreneurs. We don't want to be content creators. We want to be contentpreneurs. We want to use content to drive traffic to our business. We want to be contentpreneurs, not content creators. But we have to give value and we have to give quality content. And even on the consumption of content, long form is still king, because think about this. Whenever you are in the mind frame to learn something, where do you go? To this platform that you're on right now. You go to YouTube. What is YouTube? YouTube is a long form platform. Yeah, I know that they have shorts and whatnot, but when you are in the mind frame to learn something, when you are in the mind frame to actually receive value from a piece of content, you watch some long form piece of content. The only time that you consume shorts are when you simply just want to be entertained. And we're not entertainers, we're entrepreneurs. That's why I say you don't want to be no content creator. And that's why people are failing out here and getting sales to their products or getting traffic to their actual business, is because people are just looking to be entertained when they're trying to give some actual valuable content in the short form stuff. But people, they're not in the mind frame of that. Just think about this for a second. Whenever you are consuming short form media, whether that be Instagram, whether that be TikTok, what are you doing? When are you consuming it? The what you're doing, you're just mindlessly scrolling. You're just mindlessly scrolling. You're really not even taking in what you're seeing. And then if something catches your eye, you'll stop, you'll watch it for a few seconds. I don't like that. You keep on scrolling. When you're on TikTok, it's the same thing. That's why TikTok is hard for people to build an actual audience on there, because there's no connection and there's no community. So somebody on TikTok, they might get some followers, but then they wonder why those new followers that they got don't interact with their content, because they're really not even familiar with you, because TikTok is all designed for the For You page. TikTok is designed to just give you new stuff all the time to keep hitting those dopamine receptors and frying your brain. So people, they'll get that dopamine hit. They'll say, oh, I got some new followers. I'm gonna double down on this short form stuff. But they're not building any community. They're not building any connection. And here's the thing in business. People, they buy things with people that they know, like, and trust. And there was an old rule of marketing back in the day that when people were doing direct marketing, like whether that be cold calling, whether that be sending mailers to people, right? They needed to have about 7 touch points in order for that marketing to get some type of feedback. Now, today's age with content, there's studies saying that somebody needs to consume around 7 hours of someone's content in order to make a purchasing decision. Somebody's gonna have to watch a whole bunch of short form content to get to that 7 hours, but they can get to that fairly quickly if you make long form content. And a strategy that I like to use with this long form content, I call it binge and buy. It's gonna work, but the reason why most people don't want to do it is because it doesn't have that instant gratification of the short form content. But when you focus on binge and buy, you make content for a specific person, they consume that content. Then if you actually give them value and they actually learn to like you, then they will watch another video, another video, and another video, and another video. Then they'll start to binge your stuff. And then at some point, they're going to buy your stuff. Look, I have a small YouTube channel right now. Within the past 28 days, I have thousands of watch hours. Thousands of watch hours. I get this done so quickly like that, just from focusing on long form content. But let's get back to the mind frame that you're in, because everything in sales is basic human psychology. So like I said, when you're on short form content, you're just mindlessly scrolling, right? And another thing about short form content, you are not choosing to watch that content. You're just scrolling, and if something happens to catch your eye, then you might decide to tap in. But when you're watching long form content, you are making the decision on what it is that you actually want to watch. It's not just mindless stuff, just scrolling past you nonstop, right? You're taking the time to click something that looks interesting to you, and then you are taking the time to spend your most valuable asset, which is your time. It ain't money. That's why I hate people that say, well, you know, time is money. No, it's not. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. Because look, if I was to write you a check right now for $1 million, you'd probably take it, right? But if I was to write you a check for $1 million and say, hey, but in order to get this check, you gotta die like in 5 minutes. You'll be like, whoa, oh shit, no, I don't want that check. I don't want that check. Well, then time is definitely more valuable than money, right? But look, with long form content, You're sitting there and you're making the decision to spend your most valuable asset that you own, your time, to watch something for an extended time period. And most likely when you're sitting and watching something long form, yes, I know that some long form content you do watch to be entertained. But with your mind frame, especially if you're watching my content, you most likely are watching a lot of educational content, right? You're watching a lot of educational content. You're watching a lot of content on how to grow your business online. You're watching a lot of content about how to make money. You're probably watching a lot of content on mindset stuff and personal development. You're in the mindset to learn something. You're in the mindset to consume and actually get some nutritional value from the stuff that you're consuming. You're getting some stuff with some protein and some antioxidants and whatnot, right? Instead of just eating hot Cheetos over here with the short form that might taste good, but ain't gonna do nothing nutritional for your body. And when it comes out the other end, it's gonna look like a horror story. it might look like a murder scene. But you want to get in front of your target customer when they're in that mindset to get something of value, and then you want to deliver that value to them, and then get that binge and buy effect, and then they learn to know, like, and trust you, and then they are going to turn into your customers. There's no way around it. And even just think of this. All the people that want to grow on short form platforms, where do they go to learn about how to grow on the short form platform? Here, on YouTube. Somebody on Instagram, they don't go to IG to learn how to grow on IG. They go to YouTube. Somebody on TikTok, they don't go to TikTok to learn how to grow on TikTok. They go watch some long form video on YouTube. Someone on Twitter, they don't go to Twitter to learn how to grow on Twitter. They go watch some long form content to learn how to grow on Twitter. The long form is going to be king, and that is what you need to be focusing on. You need to be focusing on creating valuable content for your potential customer to get in front of that customer when they are looking for what it is that they actually need, and then you will be there for them while they're looking to provide the value that they need. You will be there for them to provide the solution to their problems. So the whole reason why I'm making this video, the person who left this comment, their niche, they're in the stock world, right? They teach people how to trade stocks. And he thinks that he needs to do short form content. Well, I'm like, well, the people that really want to learn how to trade stocks, do you think you're going to get them by making a whole bunch of 45-second to 1-minute videos? Or do you think they're really looking on how to trade stocks to increase their net worth? They're probably gonna be looking at some long videos. I'm like, dude, just make some long stuff. And look, and it's also easier, way easier to make long form content than short form content. It is very, 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 very hard to get information that people aren't even in the mind frame to get in 45, 60 seconds. And going back to the mind frame to get it, just think about when people are consuming short form content, what are they doing? They're just sitting on the couch scrolling. They sitting at a red light, which you shouldn't text and drive. They sitting at a red light scrolling. They waiting in line, they scrolling. Dude sitting waiting on his girlfriend to get done shopping at Home Goods. He's just sitting there, he just scrolling. It's just a mindless thing. We don't want to get in front of mindless people. We want to get into people that are looking to change their lives, because as entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs, we're only in the problem-solving business, right? People, they're not buying your products. People, they're not buying your services. People, they're buying transformation. And when they're in need of that result, when they're in need of that transformation, they're going to be consuming long-form content to do that. And once you understand this, it becomes very, very, very easy to get in front of this person because you know what they actually need. So, look, if you build an avatar profile, everything starts with your avatar. Your avatar is your customer profile. This isn't plural. When you're out here trying to talk to everybody, you don't talk to anybody. That's why people, they can't garner an audience. But then you make content only speaking to that avatar. That's why you really need to get deep and get specific on building out that avatar profile, because when you know who it is that you're actually speaking to, and when you know who your customer actually is, you know what they want, you know what they desire, you know what they're looking for, you know what they're searching for, and you also know where they congregate online. And it becomes very, very easy to then just put yourself in front of them, wave your hand and be like, hey, I know you're looking for what I got. Here I am. Because then the algorithms start to categorize you and your content, and then it uses its organic traffic sources to put you in front of more people that fits your avatar's profile. And I'm telling you, when you do this, you get numbers coming in online your business like all them that you see on the screen right now. So if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join the It's Crowded at the Top community. For weekly coaching from myself, all of my exclusive trainings, plus a private community of entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only $47 a month to join right now. That's less than a cup of coffee per day. So click the link down in the description and tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But I'm telling you, you get this down right here, it then becomes very easy to simply just put yourself in front of your desired customer or that avatar. And you don't need to have the most views, but you will have the right views. And if you have the right views, your conversions will then go up because you're getting in front of more of the right people. Therefore, it's only the right people that are seeing your content, and it's only the right people that see what you have to offer. And it doesn't take that many people in order for you to build a very, very, very successful business for yourself. Look, there's this article by a guy named Kevin Kelly. This changed my life. Kevin Kelly. I don't know if his name is EY or Y, but it's Kevin Kelly, right? And Kevin Kelly, he wrote this article called 1,000 True Fans. And basically what Kevin Kelly said in this article is that if you can just build an audience of 1,000 true fans, and these 1,000 true fans pay you $100 a year, you now have your six-figure business, right? You have $100,000 per year business. I'm not saying that you have to have your 1,000 true fans. I'm not saying that you have to sell something for $100. I don't know what your price point will be, but the concept of this changed my life, because I was like, oh, I don't need to get in front of that many people. Then I was reading this other book where the author, he was saying that if you can get famous to a few, and what he called famous to a few is if you can get famous to 3,000 to 5,000 people, right? But his famous wasn't like fame how we look at Beyonce, like, oh, come on, Queen Bee, she's everything. She owns the internet. No, his famous was to where you will become recognizable to 3,000 to 5,000 people, to the point where they will be pleased in seeing you in person. They will be pleased if they met you, right? He called it famous to a few, right? Famous to a few. So I took this concept. I'm like, okay, if I can get famous to a few, and from that, get my true fans, I'll be able to build whatever business that I want to. Right now, I know this example of the 1,000 true fans, it was 100,000, but you can just move the numbers around. Your 1,000 true fans, it may be 300, like the example of the guy up in Vancouver that I gave earlier. He had 300 people with a $100 product per month. That was a $30,000 per month business, right? But it's the same concept. You don't need that many people. You need the right people, and the best way and the most efficient way to get in front of the right people is to make long form content versus mindless short form content, and build your actual brand and become the authority that people know, like, and trust. Then they will start to consume your content, and they will binge and buy. It's inevitable. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. Now, see you on our coaching call this Wednesday, and go ahead and check out this video right here for the only types of content that you need to be making now that you're on the right track and not focus on all that short form crap. It's crowded at the top.